guys, it's your boy Boxing Lowdown and I'm back here with another Mythical Monday video. Now, as always, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Feel free to drop a comment if you like and I'll happily get back to you. Now, let me just say about those comments, man. Shout out to everybody, first of all, that have been commenting on the Mythical Monday videos. You know, it's much appreciated. I saw some great recommendations for some fights and you know what? I'm going to do a recommendation here for this video, man. It's a fantastic matchup. And shout out to the person that commented for this particular fight right here, man. But let's go further down the weights. Do you know what I mean? Some of the Mythical Monday matchups I've been doing recently have been at welterweight, heavyweight, and then featherweight. But we're going to go a bit lower, man. We're going to go all the way down to the bottom. We're going to go to like minimum weight, underneath flyweight. And this is a fantastic Mythical matchup, man. When I saw it in the comments, I thought, yeah, this is a good fight to comment on. But the reason why I haven't commented on a fight like this is because I'd say a lot of casuals follow my page. It's not really blown up yet where I can have that discussion with a lot of the hardcores. So I tend to go for the Mythical Monday matchups that a lot of people will know. And this particular Mythical Monday matchup here, a lot of us will know, but some of the casuals may not in terms of some of the fighters. Now, the first fighter, Ricardo Lopez, one of the greatest fighters to come out of the last decade, man, also last few decades, should I say. He was a fantastic fighter, but the problem with him was that he was just he was a very small fighter, minimum weight, light flyweight, very small. He was a brilliant Mexican fighter, unbeaten in his career. He, alongside Floyd Mayweather, got to 50-0, you know, without any losses or anything. You know, Ricardo Lopez retired with no losses. He only had one blemish, which was a draw that he avenged in the next fight, you know, winning that by decision. So Ricardo Lopez, one of the most underrated fighters of a generation, do you know what I mean? He was a fantastic Mexican fighter, one that's not spoken about enough, but he had it all. He had a tremendous arsenal of punches and, you know, he was a fantastic fighter. And I'm going to put him in there with Roman Gonzalez, Chocolatito. He is more well-known to the public today. He kind of built up his popularity on the undercard of the Triple G shows, you know, like him and Triple G used to share the undercards quite a bit from like 2016 onwards. And yeah, Chocolatito, another fantastic fighter, multi-weight world champion. You know, he will go down as one of the greats for sure. He's an all-time great already, fantastic fighter. And him and Ricardo Lopez would have been a real great fight, man. A tremendous clash of styles this would have been. So shout out to the person that recommended this Mythical Monday matchup, man. It's a great fight. But one fight that probably would have slipped under the radar today because of their weight. You know, it's not something that we speak about in boxing often enough, but the lower the fighter is, the less interest it seems to have in terms of the general public. But this fight would have been for us. This would have been the hardcore fight here. Ricardo Lopez and Roman Gonzalez. Like I said, it's a tremendous clash of styles. Roman Gonzalez, like I said, he'll go down as one of the GOATs, and so will Ricardo Lopez. But how would it have gone on if they met in the ring? How would this fight gone if they would have fought each other, man? Because they've got different styles. Like Ricardo Lopez, he was definitely more, he was more of a boxer. He had tremendous fundamentals. He could punch to the body, to the head, punch variety and combinations, and just a tremendously skilled fighter. Do you know what I mean? He was a skilled fighter. He did have a bit of pop in his punches. I think he had about, what, 38 knockouts or something like that in his 50-odd wins. So this guy was for real, man. I mean, he could punch, he was skilled, he was technical, and, you know, he was quite tall. He's like 5'5". So for those lower weights, I mean, he was taller than most fighters. And yeah, he could punch in combinations and punches in bunches, and he was a fantastic fighter, an absolute legend in Mexico, should I say, Ricardo Lopez. I think what he does now is, I think he commentates on like a Mexican show out there, like a TV show. But he was, in his day, man, a brilliant little man, and he was, he was underrated, I'd say. He was one of the most underrated guys out there, simply due to his size. I mean, if he was a welterweight or like not even a welterweight, even if he was like a super featherweight or something like that, do you know what I mean? I think he'd get a lot more credit to his name, but you know, that's just how boxing is, I'm afraid. But Roman Gonzalez is more well known. I mean, he's been in some brilliantly entertaining fights in his career. He's short. He would have been shorter than Ricardo Lopez, but he's more dense in terms of like his body mass and his build. And he fights different. He comes forward. He throws punches in bunches, but he's not just a steam forward kind of guy that just throws combinations. his, like, I've always described his work as beautiful violence, because the way how he comes forward and throws his combinations and his punches, it is just fantastic to watch. He breaks people down. He does it in a way where it's just so well measured. You know, he measures all of his punches, and you know, a fantastic fighter. Grew up idolizing Alexis Arguello, and you know, he was his mentor. Arguello was Chocolatito's mentor, and you know, he learned everything coming up from him. And he's really gone on, took their reins of that legacy, and made it his own. And he's a fantastic fighter as well. And I just think that this would have been a great clash of styles. Who would have been able to impose their style more? That would be really how this fight would have been won. Would Ricardo Lopez have been able to master the distance and keep Chocolatito at bay for 12? Or would Chocolatito been able to find a way in and get to Lopez? Now, it's very hard for me to pick against Ricardo Lopez because he never lost a fight. Do you know what I mean? He did not lose a fight, amateur or pro. He didn't lose. So how could I pick against him today? It's difficult because Roman Gonzalez is a living legend. Do you know what I mean? One of the GOATs. He's a fantastic fighter. It would have been a real pick and fight, man. But I have to edge it to Lopez. Me personally, I mean, I edge it to Lopez simply due to the fact of his variety, the fact that he's never taken a loss before. He knows how to find a way to win. Do you know what I mean? And that's what, you know, the elite top level guys. I think there's only about a handful of world champions that have retired undefeated in their career, and Ricardo Lopez was one of them. I think that he might have found a way to win on points. I don't think he knocks Chocolatito out. Chocolatito definitely. It could be one of those fights where we're debating as to who would win or what would you prefer. Whether you prefer Chocolatito's come forward style or whether you prefer Ricardo Lopez's style. But I'm going to edge it to Lopez in this one for me. I'll edge it to him, but it's a great fight. And again, it's one of those where there's no right or wrong answer here. It's just really admiring both and just, you know, choosing what you prefer, so to speak. But brilliant Mythical Monday matchup today, man. I'd like to give a shout out to the person who recommended it. Sorry, I can't remember who it was now. But great fight. And yeah, definitely one for the ages this would have been. Unfortunately, like I said, I don't think the general public would have captivated onto it like we would have, simply due to their size. But, you know, that's boxing for you, man. Let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. Who would have won this fight and how? Let me know any further Mythical Monday recommendations if you haven't dropped them already. I'm going to start working through the ones that you guys have dropped, and I'll get through them all. So thank you all for sharing yours, and thank you for watching this video, and I'll catch you all on the next one.